Hello and welcome, this is rooflemonger, and Capcom very recently had their Street Fighter V summer event detailing the future of Street Fighter V going into its final season of the game. We have character announcements, we have a roadmap going forward for Street Fighter V's future going to its last year, and a lot of other little details, but with that said, I know you guys are excited for new characters, so let's start with the new characters. First up is indeed Dan. Now, of all the characters that I thought could potentially have made it to Street Fighter V for its final season, Dan definitely wasn't at the top of the list, but hey, Dan is who we got, so either you're excited or you ain't, I guess. But yeah, so Dan is coming to Street Fighter V, and he will be the first character that will be coming up later this year. Next up is Rose. Now, I'm both happy and a little bit trepidatious about this, because Rose is a character I've played since Alpha, but anyone who's being added now probably doesn't have too much of a chance of being added at launch for Street Fighter 6. So I'm a little bit just worried about that, because I want to see Rose in Street Fighter 6 at the start of the game's life, so we have years and years and years of Rose, versus this being the final season of Street Fighter 5. We'll see, I guess. But yeah, so the next character up is Rose. After Rose, Oro will be joining from Street Fighter 3. A lot of people have been asking for Oro since, the start of Street Fighter V's life, actually. And Oro is now showing up for the final season of Street Fighter V. It'll be very interesting to see how he translates gameplay-wise to the Street Fighter V system. But yeah, very interesting choice, and obviously he's been in various, story modes and all that kind of stuff. So he now is actually part of the game. And the final announced character is Akira from Rival Schools. Now, Rival Schools is an old one. Hasn't had a new game in the franchise in a very long time, to say the least, right? But Rival Schools, just like Final Fight, is keyed to the Street Fighter universe. It is in the same universe. And Akira has always been a fairly popular character in the franchise. I guess if you want to look at it in a really odd way, you can say it's a guest character, but if you say that's the guest character, then you have to say like Cody and Poison are, and that's not really the case. They are in universe. So yeah, so very out of the left field pick, I'll say that. I would have never expected a Rival Schools character to make it in, but hey, she's in, so there you go. Look forward to it if you are a fan of Rival Schools. They also stated they're going to try to make sure her gameplay style from Rival Schools translates over just a little bit, as Rival Schools does not exactly play like Street Fighter, so we'll see how that turns out when she comes out. And what about the fifth and final character? Well, hey, they are not announcing that just yet. We will find that out at a later date. Now, that all said, there was a lot of other stuff to talk about, so let's go over all the other details that were mentioned for this summer update video. First up, for whatever reason you haven't played Street Fighter V yet, there will be a free trial. And the free trial has all 40 characters. It is basically the full game, and it'll run for about 2 weeks is my understanding based off previous news. So yeah, man, if you haven't tried it, hey, might as well at this point. We were also given a roadmap for how this is all going to go out here. So by the end of this year, Dan will come out with a bunch of costumes and a new stage. And all sorts of costumes here. Sporty costumes, Capcom Pro Tour, and the fan design costume they had a little bit of a contest for. At which point, this will also be the beginning of the final season. So there will be a new battle mechanic added. Who knows? I don't. We can only begin to speculate what that could be. And also new balance, because hey, new season equals balance updates and all that kind of stuff, right? Going from there, spring 2021 will be the introduction of Rose with new costumes. Rose will get her own stage and new costumes, even more professional costumes besides that. In summer of 2021, we'll be getting Oro, plus more costumes, Akira, plus more costumes, and Akira will also get her own Rival School stage. And fall of 2021, the final character to be announced, another CPT stage, and of course more costumes, because hey, that's how that works. And that is the end of Street Fighter V. So just like Street Fighter 4 with Ultra Street Fighter 4, the final season of Street Fighter V is basically the portent, the harbinger of upcoming Street Fighter 6, so I guess we can look forward to Street Fighter 6 sometime in 2022. And those are all the big notes of the presentation. There's some other small stuff. There's some Street Fighter crossover with AEW, All Elite Wrestling shirts. For my money, though, they have like Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks. I'm more of a Butcher and the Blade kind of guy myself. The Street Fighter V League Invitational will be having its 3rd season as well. And yeah, so that's basically the totality now of everything they've gone over. So overall, I definitely personally gotta say, happy Rose is in, although I fear for her inclusion in Street Fighter 6 now that she's here. And it is very interesting that there's a rival schools character coming to Street Fighter. So it's a long-awaited crossover, and now it is indeed finally happening. And with all that said, hey, what are your opinions on the matter? What do you think about these new characters coming to the game? What do you think about the final season of Street Fighter V and just, Street Fighter in general, I guess? Put it in the comments below. But other than that, my friends, that is the end of this video. So thank you very much for watching. Hope this video has found you well. Go out and play some Street Fighter.